It's time for the Social Show with Viwe Kyolwana.
Social Show?
Social Show.
A beautiful Monday morning to you. My name is Viwe Kyolwana, and for the next 30 minutes, we're going to be speaking all things shared value, all things social investment, all things social responsibility. That's what the show is about. That's what we do on the Social Show. Of course, I am coming to you from the heart of Johannesburg in Melville, the heart of media close to Auckland Park. We've got the SABC around here. We've got Media 24. We've got everything. So all the news and everything that you want to know is in the area. So you can always feel the energy of knowledge sharing in the space. I'm coming straight from 27 Boxes, Bohemian suburb in Johannesburg, Melville. And if you've never visited and you're coming to Johannesburg for the first time, please come and just see the studio and take a picture and let me know what you think. Anyway, you know that if you have any queries or questions, you can definitely send me a little something on Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter at brandlive.co.za, or you can just find me, Viwe_TYO, and we can have a conversation about whatever it is that has to do with today's show. All the shows that we've had before, if you're listening to a podcast or you're listening to something that I've already spoken about. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to start with the news.
CSI update.
The National Assembly has approved the much-anticipated Civil Union Amendment Bill. Parliament, in a statement, said the bill aims to repeal Section 6 of the Principal Act, which allowed for a marriage officer to object on the grounds of conscience, religion, and belief to solemnizing a civil union between persons of the same sex. In 2006, South Africa became the first African state to recognize same-sex marriages when the Civil Union Act was passed by Parliament. The act was introduced after the Constitutional Court ruled that it was unconstitutional for the state to provide benefits of marriage to opposite-sex couples, yet deny same-sex couples the same. In other news, large flower artworks made from recycled plastic waste are the focal point of Woolworths Christmas window displays in retailers' shop and across 15 stores. The designs feature striking oversized effigies of iconic Proteas, including King Protea and Pincushion, all handcrafted by South Africa's women out of recycled plastic bottles, plastic cutlery, and plastic hangers. With a Christmas design theme centered on handmade indigenous flowers, the virtual merchandising team saw the opportunity to partner with the local empowerment project to raise awareness of the importance of reusing, repurposing, and recycling plastics. Facing the new challenge of designing and producing the artworks from scratch, Woolworths Visual Merchandising partnered with SA Gifts and a South African small business connecting artists and crafters from the disadvantaged communities with no other income to high quality corporate gifting projects. And lastly, in our news, the Hot 91.9 FM Christmas Wish will launch on Mansfield in the morning from the 10th to the 21st of December. Hot 91.9 FM is a radio station entrenched in the hearts of the community it serves because of the goodwill that they generate. Jeremy Mansfield is a larger-in-life personality who is strongly associated with charitable causes and has been said to personify the meaning of philanthropy. Together, the two made Christmas Wish Heaven, and it will be launching soon. In fact, the station was recently acknowledged at the South African Small Business Awards for the role it plays in its community, and it was honoured with the National Community Award for the outstanding and significant contribution that it makes to their community. The National Small Business Champion Award is a unique award and was awarded to the station for what it has done in terms of community upliftment. And that concludes our news for today.
Imagine that you have $1.25. In the United States, you can have 5 bags of deep cheese and a pretzel. In London, you can have an instant soup. In India, you can have 2 steamed rice cakes. In Ghana, you can have a small box of chicken and rice. While you're imagining the tasty smell of that chicken and rice, 1.3 billion people around the world only have $1.25 to survive per day. They don't have a choice, but you do.
There is no doubt that quality education can help reduce poverty, foster economic prosperity, improve health and well-being. It can help a person to understand this world better or build a base for the future. It's clear, it's simple, education is important. However, today there are places around the world where 14 students share just one book. Girls simply drop out because there are no toilets in schools. Today, 58 million children are denied the basic right to education. Those children did not even have a choice, but you do.
Back on the social show, and of course, what kind of Monday would it be without my daily week gig guide or update as to what you can do to further your philanthropic needs, your philanthropic ideas? That's what I'm here to do today. So we're going to be speaking a little bit about what to expect in the week coming and the few weeks coming, of course. I know a lot of you are already going on holiday. The streets are empty in Johannesburg. It's great for us who are still at work. But I really wish I was on holiday with you. But anyway, there's a lot more you can still do. There's so much going on still in the philanthropy space, in fact in the charity space, and also in the CSI space. I find that a lot of companies are actually doing good instead of throwing parties, which is a great trend, during this time, because everyone is having a Christmas party, and I'm not mad at the parties, don't get me wrong, but it's always good to have a little party and do good. In fact, I will have to mention, it would be remiss of me not to speak about 3M's latest initiative, which I was at just last week. It's fresh news. So they teamed up with Meals on Wheels, which is a huge organization, been around 54 years, and the organization prepares meals for people in South Africa who don't necessarily get meals every single day. They do this constantly every single day. I think over 55,000 meals a day, which I think is remarkable. And what I like is that the food is really nice. The food is like chicken, it's rice, it's really good food that you could eat anywhere and any time, and it's food that made out of love. But anyway, 3M, which is a multi-faceted company, huge company, they're basically involved in everything that has to do with engineering and manufacturing. But anyway, they got their staff together for their Christmas party, in fact for their Christmas celebrations, and they got them to go to Meals on Wheels, cook for the day, and go sit hand over the meals to specific communities. I know we were in Denver. We went to Selby, and what they were doing was remarkable. I think it was about 4,000 meals to people, just because it's good and it's for good, to feel the good vibes. They weren't really trying to get anything out of it. They didn't even like have a lot of press around. They didn't even try to make it something bigger than what it was. All they wanted to do was to make somebody's day and give somebody some food. And I have to absolutely speak about their amazing campaign, and you can find out more about that story on our site. It should be uploaded this week. It's going to be amazing. It is amazing. Another story that recently happened was the AI Soweto, which launched this weekend from the 7th to the 9th. So what's happening is that Microsoft teamed up with the Motlanthe Foundation, and together they got a group from Soweto, from a girls' school, about 20 to 30 young girls, and they got them together for a weekend to come and learn a little bit about robotics, about building, about engineering, about AI in general from a Microsoft perspective. And they were there for the whole weekend. They were transported to and from. They were given food, given meals, they were given fresh perspectives. They were given great new learning blocks to really get themselves a little bit more familiar with what AI can do. And also, I think what the real main issue there was, to really involve the community and females, in fact, in the pursuit to solve community issues. Because what's the point of getting outside help or getting people who are not necessarily in the community to solve the issues? People who are going to solve the issues are people living with the issues. So that's the kind of mantra they went in, and tried to really facilitate this specific project around. Our former president, Mr. Kgalema Motlanthe, was there, which is amazing. So was his wife, who is the head of the Kgalema Motlanthe Foundation. It was an association with Old Mutual as well, and Microsoft. It was just really beautiful. And I have to just mention that because I think it's going to be great. They said it's going to be sustainable. So it's not only just going to be this year. There's going to be quite a number of girls that they're going to try and get into this program, get them facilitated with just the the actual breaking down of what AI is and what AI can do. So that's the two big stories that you sort of would have missed out on if you were not paying attention to your CSI news, and I was there to cover them. And again, you can find the stories on www.social-tv.co.za in the next week. Anyway, as you know, this kind of day is a day where I break down where you can go. I break down events. I break down what it is that we can do in the week, whether it be in South Africa or not. But all we want to do is make sure that people are at the heart of the story, people's upliftment, people's betterment, people's goodwill is at the forefront. And if I can sort of preempt something that you may have not thought about, or preempt an action from you that you never thought about because of these events, that's enough for me. Anyway, in Durban, we have Cairo's Heart of Fashion. Now, Cairo's Models, which is a modeling agency, I think, will be hosting its first Durban fashion show on the 14th of December 2018, in aid of kids who suffer from congenital heart diseases. The Cairo's Heart of Fashion 2018 is proud to be supporting Heart of Hope, a local charity raising awareness for these heart deficits in children. Now, CHD affects 1 in 100 children born in South Africa, and more than 9,000 children are born with this condition every single year. So tickets can be purchased on Quicket, and proceeds for the show entirely will go to Hope of Hope. Unfortunately, there is no cure for CHD, and less than 40% of those children receive the necessary medical intervention that they require. So Heart of Hope is dedicated to raising awareness for CHD and the need for heart transplants. Again, I always say, like, as much as it's a time to give, it's also a time where a lot of people really feel there are issues because they're at home a little bit more. They're getting to deal with the day to day. And I can only imagine what a parent would be going through with it if your child is experiencing this condition. What Christmas is like for you, and how you get to negotiate that around family members and people who come see you, and you try to sort of protect your child at the same time. So it's very important that we think about those kinds of situations, and we think and we put people in our hearts, but also we go and support causes like this. It'll be happening at Liberty Hall, which is North Coast Road, Avoca in Durban. Again, tickets can be purchased on Quicket, and you can call them, or you can just go to the email address, which is cairoevents@yahoo.com, to find out more. It starts at 7 and ends at 11, so it's going to be a nice time out for you if you're interested in going, and also something that you can do if you feel as though you could do something just to help with the awareness, or you are part of the group of people who are affected by CHD. In other event news, we've got this RCS Gugs race, which is celebrating Guguletu's 60th anniversary. Now, this year, the popular RCS Gugs race is at the starting line. Sorry, wow, I don't have my reading glasses on. Is the starting line to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Cape Town's oldest township, and this year's race is said to be the best one yet. Now, along with the people of Guguletu, RCS is proud to celebrate the distinctive milestone in the year that the race enters its 19th year. The RCS on board as the title sponsor for the 9th consecutive year, and it takes place in the vibrant, beautiful township of Guguletu on the outskirts of Cape Town on Sunday, the 16th of December. Now, South Africa's annual Day of Reconciliation is Sunday, so it's going to be a nice day out, and it's the only race of its kind, really, that brings together all cultural groups in one city's historical townships, and one of the city's historical townships, and also enables them to reach their goals. It's also a fun family day, like I said, for entertainment. There'll be prizes to be won. There'll be a lot that can be done. And I like celebrating our spaces. I love making sure that local residents in spaces like townships, in spaces like even shanty towns, in just areas where people don't necessarily ever feel like they're being seen or they don't feel visible, that we host these huge events to show light and showcase what's going on, number one, in the community, but number two, we also give people a chance to enjoy themselves and a chance to feel like they're not living the same life over and over again, to give them something different in their day. And I always think this really does help people just have a good time. I'm sure the kids are going to have a great time. I'm sure there's going to be a number of sweets and a number of things and a number of prizes that's going to be won on the day. it feels like it's going to be a good day. And if you want to find out more, you can definitely go to www.entrytime.com. That's where you can find the cost. Also, it starts quite early. It starts from 5 in the morning and ends at 5 in the evening. So it sounds like it's going to be a nice day, and I definitely approve. Social TV approves. Now, I know I've said enough. You've got Cape Town, you've got Durban. There's so much things you could be doing. If you are home, if you have left Johannesburg and you're in Cape Town, Durban, please look out for these events and see what you can do to do your bit, and you can make somebody's Christmas, or you can help people feel good for the day. Whatever it is that you can do it. We'll be back after this.
When I was 5 years old, I was an annoying kid, playing all the time and asking my mom to buy me that toy or that toy. And I always wondered why my dad can do the same. Why he needs to spend his time like doing boring things, like waking up in the morning very early or coming back late at night. But you know, time have changed. From 2007 to 2012, the number of unemployed people has increased from 170 million to 202 millions. And 75 million young people just like me are currently unemployed. So I guess that my father, he had an easier time finding a job. But we can change that.
What kind of things does a child deserve to have in his or her tiny hands? Probably a candy or a toy, or even better, a book and a pen. But what if this pen gets replaced by a gun? Imagine the horror of violence and abuse children are facing every day and the kind of future we are building for them. In fact, 300,000 children are still working as militants in conflicting areas all around the world. They did not have a choice, but you do.
You're back on the social show, and I know if you hear that kind of music, you know it's coming up. It's things to remember. And today I don't really have a real jingle to play. I just thought I'd really just start off by giving you some really good positive quotes that will hopefully brighten up your day. It's a Monday. Nobody really wants to be at work during this time of the year. And sometimes we can really feel a bit dull, and especially in the mornings when we need to produce our own sunshine and our own energy. And I know a lot of the times I'm always speaking about what are you doing? What can you do? How can you help? Because I do think those are important questions. And I definitely think that I love challenging people and getting them to think outside the box. But I also think goodness can also come internally, and it comes better when it is internal. And once it is internal, you can help get it everywhere. So I'm just going to share a few short positive quotes that I think will brighten up any day for anybody, that you'll be wearing sunglasses to work. Actually, that's how bright your day is going to be. In fact, let's start off with this one. I'm paraphrasing first of all, so I'm not going to just, I'm not going to say who they're from. I found them on the internet. But anyway, here's one. So it says, an arrow can only be shot by pulling it backward. When life is dragging you back with difficulties, it means that it's going to launch you into something great. So just focus and keep aiming. Also, don't forget you're human. It's okay to have a meltdown. Just don't unpack and live there. Cry it out, then refocus on where you're headed. And lastly, I like this one. The grass is greener where you water it. Wherever you water your grass, that is where things will grow. How much time are you spending with your kids? How much time are you spending with your family? How much time are you spending with your friends? With the places that make you feel good, how are you watering those areas? Are you leaving them a little bit barren, or are you really planting those seeds so that you can feel happy and you can feel good? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, I think that finishes off our show. I hope you felt something, and I hope that it helped you get on with your day. Remember, there's no such thing as doing too much good. So wherever you are, spread kindness and spread goodness. We'll be back again, same time, same place, only on The Social Show.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za